We are Courtney Williams surveying the floor. It's Carlton setting up a turnaround from Collier. That's pure.
Well, off of the tip, you don't always get your matchups the way you want them defensively, and Minnesota took advantage of that.
First offensive possession for the Fever, coming off a win in their last outing over Dallas on Friday. A cutting Kelsey Mitchell kisses it off the window.
Yeah, against the pressure, McBride got beat back door, but that will be a matchup to watch. Kayla McBride will be guarding Kelsey Mitchell.
This Fever team can still score it even without Caitlin Clark. They're fourth in the W in offensive rating. This is Carlton. Kick out. Smith can't hit from beyond the arc, and Howard with the board.
That's something to watch for with this Minnesota offense. All 5 players in the starting lineup are shooting 39% or better from 3.
That pass deflected and stolen. Williams to Smith for the leg.
Defense, you want to get your matchup set. You don't want to give up easy baskets, especially because Minnesota is good enough in the half court without transition buckets.
Mitchell can't hit from beyond the arc. Rebound to Williams. Up ahead, Smith can't get the lay-in. And here comes McDonald the other way.
And a pinpoint pass. Another one from Courtney Williams. Can you believe she didn't want to be a point guard at one point? She looks too good doing that.
This is Howard setting up McDonald. Knocking down the tray.
And you saw that Indiana wanted to go inside to Aaliyah Boston early on that possession. Afisa Collier is guarding her. She did a great job of making them go to the next option, but McDonald was ready.
Sees part for Carlton, but misses the lay-in. Howard bringing it up for Indiana. Mitchell, mid-range, money.
That is how quickly Kelsey Mitchell can get a shot off. She's so crafty, excellent ball handler, and creates separation with ease.
Smith gives it up to McBride. 3-ball corner pocket. Kayla McBride.
Off-ball movement for McBride. One of the best in the game. She works incredibly hard to get open from 3.
Shooting 41% from downtown. McDonald hard drive, puts it up and in. McDonald has been a breath of fresh air for Indiana. Every time she plays, she contributes. This is Smith with the left and rolls off. Howard across the timeline. Right down the lane. Howard missing. Boston no. And a poke away by Howard, and could not be saved by McDonald. Williams finding Collier. Good matchup here. Collier backing down Howard, fading away, won't go. A 9-6 advantage early on for Indiana. Boston. And that pass ricochets Boston. An all-star starter splits the defense, put it up and off. Thought there should have been a foul call. Minnesota with the rock. Williams around a Smith screen. Mid-range assassin.
No one takes more mid-range shots, or has this season, than Courtney Williams. That's what you know about her.
This is Mitchell. On the drive, behind the back. Howard wasn't ready.
Has played some quality time this season.
Williams for 3. Expanding the range.
First we get the midi, which is classic Courtney Williams, and this is the evolution of Courtney Williams, taking more 3-pointers this year than she has in her career.
Minnesota up by 2. McDonald gives it up to Hall. Shot clock winding down. McDonald gonna have to make a play. Hall does not get it off in time. It's a shot clock violation. 3rd. Pass into Fee. Backing down Howard. Uses the contact, kisses it off the window.
And Natasha Howard was Defensive Player of the Year in this league in 2019. So she knows how to D up, but that's just better offense from Collier.
There's Collier with the defensive play. Williams off to the races. Tried to dump it off to Smith. It's out of bounds. First turnover.
Coaching, she knows how to challenge her players. Told Fee that she wanted her to aim for a 50-40-90. And guess where she is? Right there.
Indiana's had 3 consecutive turnovers and nearly a 4th. 5 on the shot clock for McDonald. Bounce pass, Howard in the lane, won't go, stays with it in a crowd, scoops it up. Howard in attack mode up with the left, won't go. Carlton clears it for the Lynx.
Incredible effort by Natasha Howard, just couldn't get it to go.
Williams left alone, in and out. Approaching 4 minutes to go in this opening frame. Mitchell gives it up, McDonald. Now it's Boston. McDonald from downtown, no.
Boy, Minnesota has made it impossible for Indiana to really get any looks inside, and that's what they wanted to do, to take away the paint points, and they have done a nice job of that so far.
Indiana leading the WNBA in paint points per game. Collier kept the pivot, out to Smith for 3.
That's exactly what you want to see if you're Cheryl Reed. When the double team comes to Nafisa Collier, she makes the right pass right out to an Atlanta Smith who is ready to shoot.
16-9 Minnesota. Hall. Kick out to Mitchell. Hall nowhere to go. Shot clock winding down again. Howard, tough shot off the heel. McBride, bounce pass to Smith. Smith, acrobatic shot goes down. It is a 12-0 Lynx.
To see some turnovers, but Sydney Colson, a little bit more of a veteran at that point guard position, comes in to get them settled.
Right on cue, Colson with the trifecta.
And that's how you do it.
18-12. Here's Williams in the backcourt now with Natisha Heidemann. And an all. This is Mitchell stopping on a dime. High arcing shot won't go. Cunningham tried to break it up, but it's in the hands of Collier. Now it's Williams bringing it up the floor. Williams. Inside. Collier with the left goal.
Stephanie White going to her bench, so this is not the same level of experience defensively. Collier picks up on it, goes one-on-one on the side.
Taking advantage of the rookie, Michaela Timpson in the game for the Fever. This is Boston. Can't get it to go. Rebound secured by Williams. Boston 0 for 3 in the early going.
Leading the WNBA in field goal percentage. She doesn't miss shots very often.
Oh. Williams. And a foul is called. Shepard trying to find McBride, broken up by Boston. Colson on the move.
We got Colson and McDonald on the floor at the same time.
And Shepard is good. And McDonald gets a screen from Boston. Stops. Under a minute now in this first quarter. Shot clock winding down. Colson split the defense, threw it out of bounds. It's a shot. Heidemann's pass broken up and stolen.
Great defense by Ari McDonald.
Cunningham, the pump, the drive. Outside to McDonald. And now Colson surveying the floor. Fires a 3. Can't hit. And the rebound saved by Boston to McDonald. Fresh 14.
What a hustle by Aaliyah Boston.
2-second difference, shot clock and game clock. McDonald over to Boston. Boston, the pull-off won't go. Lid on the basket for Indiana.
Yeah, and I agree with Kelsey Mitchell. It's going to take some patience. The ball is probably going to have to get reversed and touch both sides of the floor. You got to make this Minnesota defense really work to try to...
All season long. They've got Williams and Heidemann in the backcourt. Nice pass, Kundakova with the lay-in.
And again, Courtney Williams using her vertical to get that pass in. You see how high up off the floor she was?
She got hops. McDonald over to Cunningham in the corner, in and out on a 3. Rebound Williams. Williams Mid-range J won't go. Cunningham the board.
This is a smaller, a little more mobile and versatile lineup on the floor for the Fever, so they can push pace, everyone can handle.
Howard can't get it to drop.
Yondakova is 6'4", so she's long.
Yes.
So she's able to get it up and over for her.
First free throw good for Natasha Howard. Back championships, two-time All-Star, Defensive Player of the Year. They've got quite the veteran.
Including a championship right here with the Minnesota Lynx. Cheryl Reed, very familiar.
22-14. Heidemann hard drive, and Heidemann will go to the line. Duo, at least the starting point guard and Courtney Williams and Atisha Heidemann coming off the bench. They have been absolutely dynamic for the Lynx this season.
I love the combination when the stud buds get into the game together. Courtney Williams, which is really where she's special, but she's been good.
Put back off the miss. 25-14. Largest lead of the ball game for the Lynx.
Largest lead of the ball game with some of their bench unit in. This is not even their starting unit.
McDonald goes down and
on their offense down with easy inside looks. She hasn't gotten those.
pocket pass to Shepard. Shepard spinning off Howard, put it up and in. Shepard with the highlight. Howard finds a cutting McDonald, easy deuce.
Beautiful read by Natasha Howard. And Aari McDonald, who's so quick, she's always moving. That's the kind of cutting that Kelsey Mitchell was telling Tabitha about.
Trying to get out of this hole right now, trailing by 9. Carlton stopped on the baseline by Cunningham. Williams, mid-range J, won't go. Rebound McDonald. Mitchell can heat up quickly. Howard, double team, outside Cunningham for 3, yes.
You see that ball movement starting to open up. And Natasha Howard has played facilitator for this team from the middle of the floor.
3 minutes gone by in this second quarter. It's an 8-point ball game. Heidemann. Shot clock winding down. A lot of dribbling, turned it over. Mitchell hitting the turbo button, lays it up and off.
And that is her strong left side. She doesn't miss very many of those.
Indiana has scored the last 5. Williams around the world. Carlton wide open, can't hit, and it's knocked out of
a lottery pick in Jessica Shepard.
Mitchell left that short. They're happy to see Shepard back. This is Boston muscling inside, can't hit, tried to get it back. Whistle blows, and it's a foul going to Jet to get going in this one. Mitchell gives it up to Colson. Colson on the drive, floats it up and off. It's a good look, stripped. Indiana back with the rock. Colson. Mitchell with the clock winding down will have to make a play. Nearly lost the handle. Tried to dump it off and should have shot it. Not playing in this ball game, still dealing with that sore groin. Indiana is 3-4 this season without Caitlin Clark. Collier battling with Howard in the paint, fading away, won't go. Rebound Boston. 6th rebound of the ball game for the All-Star starter. Colson saw an opening, finds a cutting Mitchell for 2.
Smart decision by Sydney Colson. She was just about to put up that shot, but took her time, made a better decision, getting Kelsey Mitchell going left.
27-21. Collier can't add to Minnesota's lead. Indiana inching closer. Boston on the drive, floats it up and off, tried to stay with it, batted out to Colson. Mitchell for three, no good.
Minnesota has not been able to get clean rebounds. You can feel that energy coming in for the Fever.
Heidemann, tough shot, does not draw iron. Suddenly Minnesota's gone a little cold. Boston.
They have been able to get some backdoor cuts on the wing.
Mitchell at the free throw line, swish.
Beautifully done.
We have a 4-point ball game. Minnesota's largest lead in this first half was 13. It's a 9-0 Indiana run. Nafisa Collier lost it, and Carlton will pick up the fight. Been doing that for a long time.
Yes.
Here's Mitchell again, rimming out on the three. Lynx have not scored in the last 4 minutes, 30 seconds of game action. Pass inside, Collier can't hit. Howard up the floor, sets up Colson. We have a 4-point ball game. Colson up top, finds Boston. Boston. She's on the scoreboard. First field goal after starting 0 for 6. And Minnesota's lead is 2.
The plan defensively was the collapse on that crab dribble by Aaliyah Boston on several possessions on this end of the floor. They've gotten the ball where they've wanted it to Collier. They just have not been able to convert.
Outside look, Smith won't go. Long rebound secured by Boston, her 7th of the night. Mitchell kept the pivot. Baseline drive, Colson out to Cunningham for three. Will not get the bounce. Rebound snagged by Shepard. Williams goes for the skip pass, and we're going the other way. For 7 and 4 turnovers. Boston, no. Corrals it. Out to Cunningham. In the corner. Got the three. Indiana on top. Collier fading away. Won't go. Collier's 3 for 8 in this ball game. The Fever have battled all the way back. Good defense, Smith. Boston gives it up to Colson. Left wide open, missing the mark on the tray, and a loose ball foul. For all these games, go to WNBA.com or visit the WNBA app. Williams threw it away. Turnovers adding up for Minnesota. Natasha Howard on the drive. Whistle blows a foul. Lynx have not scored in the last 7 minutes.
Indiana started to catch on. They're being more physical. They're going to have to work into their offense to get more quality looks.
One compelling part of this Commissioner's Cup, the last 2 years at least, the teams that competed for the Commissioner's Cup championship met in the WNBA Finals. It was Las Vegas and New York 2 years ago, and Minnesota and New York last season.
They give you energy. Every time you get a touch of the offensive glass, it doesn't matter how everything else is going, that energy feeds into the rest of the team.
How about this ball game? Minnesota had a 13-point lead, had a comfortable advantage, and you give the Fever a lot of credit, battling back, fighting, and Howard an opportunity to give them a 5-point advantage. She does just that. She's 6 for 6 at the charity strike, and it's an 18-0 Indiana run. Williams. Colson goes down. The push shot won't go for Williams. Howard the board. Quickly ahead to Colson. Mitchell. Driving on Carlton. Put it up. Won't go. Rebounded by Williams in a crowd. The shot clock and game clock nearly identical. Williams on the logo. Clock under 10. Williams into Collier. The turnaround left it short. Cunningham will not get a shot off in the first half. Indiana looking for their first Commissioner's Cup title. Minnesota looking to go back-to-back. Lexi Hull blocked by Smith. Smith's second in. Quick inbound. Boston got the deuce.
Really good execution by Indiana on the end out of bounds, and they have started this third quarter with a different energy than what they started in the top of the game.
Largest lead for the Fever. Smith finds an open. Collier puts it up and in.
And that's what you want to do if you're Cheryl Reeves. Get your superstar an easy bucket right around the rim. How does Indiana lose Collier?
Mitchell, crafty. Kelsey Mitchell now in double figures with 10. Smith. And now it's McBride with the shot clock winding down. Gonna have to get going. McBride gives it up. Smith beat the clock. Can't hit. Carlton the activity on the offensive glass. Collier inside the arc. Will not get the bounce. Tapped away and a loose ball. Howard. Tossed it out to McDonald, but too much air under the rock. McBride now on the move. Can't get it to go. Smith the offensive board. Collier defended by the smaller Mitchell. Lost the handle. And then Collier gets tied up with Howard. It's going
to get some tips and deflections.
Mitchell, no good. And Smith secures the rock. 5 rebounds for Alana Smith. And good hand. Boston. Watched closely by Williams. Now it's McDonald. Gives it up to Howard. 5 on the shot clock. Howard, as Carlton goes down, Howard put it up and in. Bully ball from Flash.
You got to adjust. Minnesota's been looking for some foul calls. They haven't gotten them. You see how this game is being officiated. You have.
McDonald gives it up to Hull. Howard. Miscommunication with Mitchell. McBride ahead to Smith. Smith can't put it in, but will go.
Rhythm, but credit Indiana. I mean, they have been feisty.
Stephanie White liking what she's seeing. And Indiana playing their 3rd straight game without Caitlin Clark with the groin injury. And they're battling. It's a 7-point ball game. Boston. Defended by the reigning defensive player of the year. Mitchell behind the back, nearly lost it. Good defense by McBride. Now it's Howard having to go to work. In the lane, put it up and in. Howard's offense coming.
That has guard skills. She can score from just about anywhere on the floor.
Smith bottoms. 34. Hull penetrating over to Boston. Boston put it up and off. Couldn't get the offensive board. Carlton secures it. Williams. Alana Smith wanted it inside. It rotates back to Williams. Into Collier. The fadeaway, in and out. Hull across the timeline. Hull with the spin, gives it up to Howard. Hand off to Mitchell. Foul is called on.
Come out and guard at 3. You have a chance to get a shot up.
Minnesota with only 3 makes from downtown so far in this ball game. Indiana the best 3-point defense in the W. Howard saw the clock, fired it up. It's a shot clock violation. Kayla McBride. Tough angle, couldn't get it to go. Howard been doing a little everything for Indiana in this ball game. Boston picks up the dribble, finds Hull beyond the arc. They score.
There's so much more cutting and activity in the lane for Indiana now, and that is how they got out of that early hole. They have been much better with ball movement and player movement, and it's opening up shots.
Fifth three-pointer of the ball game for Indiana. Approaching 4 minutes to go in the third. Fever leading by 9. Clock winding down. Williams, front iron, no.
This time it was Minnesota with the shot clock violation.
Here's his hole. Gives it up to Mitchell. Indiana in firm control at the moment. Boston gives it up to Mitchell, has to chase it down, lost it out of bounds. Deal. Open floor in front of her. Got the lay. Indiana, largest lead of the ball.
To be a starter in this competitive league, but really happy for Alicia Gray in Atlanta. She has worked her tail off to improve every season.
Minnesota has to get cooking. 8 on the shot clock. McBride found an opening. The reverse not there. Boston the board. 9 rebounds for Aaliyah Boston. Hole on the drive. Out to McDonald for 3. Cash.
Fever clicking on all cylinders right now. Caitlin's loving it.
It is an 8-0 Indiana run. A lot of time left in this ball game. Pocket pass to Smith. Out to McBride for 3. Won't go, but fouled beyond the arc.
She has 0 3-point attempts so far in this game. And you know how impactful she can be from long range. That is incredible. Credit the Indiana defense.
On Sunday, Kayla McBride passed Christy Tolliver and moved into 7th place on the WNBA's all-time three-pointers made list.
Couple triples for 6 points. The 6 points may not feel like a lot, but in this game, points have been hard to come by.
And you talked about Sydney Colson had 3 points, a couple of assists in that first half, but was supremely impactful for Indiana.
It's the timeliness of those contributions.
Howard, the pump, the drive, and the foul. She had 13 rebounds in Friday's win over Dallas as she knocks down the first free throw. She's a perfect 7 for 7 at the charity stripe.
And her shot attempts have been cut in half this year from last season coming to Indiana. So she has sacrificed some of her offense to come and be a part of this team. And she fits in so well with everything they do because of how quickly she gets up and down the floor in transition. She's an excellent screener and offensive rebounding. It's hard to find anyone better in the game.
Got the bounce on that free throw. She's 8 for 8 at the line. She's attempted all of Indiana's free throw attempts in this ball game. Hand off to McBride, doubled in the corner, gives it up to Smith. Collier, back to McBride for 3, in and out. Collier, the offensive board, finds McBride, fresh 14. Smith for 3, boom! Big bucket for Minnesota.
Where would the Lynx be?
Williams from the free throw line won't go. Howard, another rebound.
And on the floor right now, Natisha Heidemann is the perfect candidate for a spark.
Sydney Colson with the handle. Gives it up to Mitchell. Mitchell, pull up. It's an offensive foul. Oh, Mitchell hit the shot. Seconds to go in this third quarter. Heidemann left open. Won't go. So many of their outside looks have been in and out. Howard, hand off to Mitchell. Mitchell looking to go to work, picked up the dribble. Howard penetrating, put it up with the left. Bank is open late. 12-point lead for the Fever. Natasha Howard is in her bag. 16 points, 11 boards. And once again, this crowd is quiet. That's a traveling violation.
Well, when you won...
Colson hit the accelerator, can't hit. Simpson the offensive board. Corralled inside, put it up and off. Rebound, Shepard. Lynx can hold for the final shot of this third quarter. Williams taking a time. 7 on the clock. Williams inside, put it up, won't go. Fouled by Collier on the drive, stops, put it up, partially blocked by Boston. Kick out, McBride for three, no good, and we have a loose ball. Shepard working on Boston, caught under the basket, put it up off Boston, called for the foul. Lynx 8 for 9, make it 9 for 10 so far at the free throw line. Alana Smith checking back to the ball game. She has a team high 15 for the Lynx. Let's check in with Tap.
In a lot of areas. Been in the
all of the above. So many rims in and out for Minnesota, outside and inside the paint.
McDonald, first offensive possession of the fourth for Indiana. Colson now using the Boston screen. Gives it back to Boston. Boston, the turnaround left it short. Cleared by Smith.
Courtney Williams digging in. She helped to get that stop against Boston.
Urgency time for Minnesota. Oh, crossover. Baseline drive. Can't get the reverse. Shepard on the putback. Sessions already to start the fourth.
And Indiana going small with McDonald and Colson in the backcourt.
Howard into Boston. Beautiful play for two.
Natasha Howard once again playing facilitator, the middle of the floor, and Aaliyah Boston does her work. She seals her defender enough to get a bucket.
Offensive foul. We're going the other way. It's on Kayla McBride. Her second foul. McDonald pumping, putting it off the window.
That's a bucket.
McDonald.
Erin McDonald is 5'6". That's the smallest player on the court, backing into the post.
All hard. Stephanie White called her the Energizer Bunny. Out of bounds, it will stay. Hands to the face. Alana Smith tried to find Smith, turned it over.
Spacing just was not good for that pass, and Sydney Colson was all over it.
Both teams with 15 turnovers. Colson. Boston made a great catch and scores.
I don't even know if that pass was for Boston. It looked like Sydney Colson was either going to the three-point line or looking to maybe lost it.
6-0 run out of the timeout. Smith can't hit the three. And how about Indiana calming things down out of that timeout, taking back control when it looked like Minnesota was going on a run. Boston, no, Collier the board.
Minnesota has to get a quality look.
Shepard spinning and scoring.
Jessica Shepard has been the answer for Minnesota here to start the fourth.
A lot of time left in this ball game. Colson over to Cunningham, driving on the baseline, blew right by Collier.
Right by the reigning defensive player of the year.
Lead back to 13. Williams.
Good job by Sophie Cunningham coming over to take away that lane for Courtney Williams.
Collier poked out of bounds.
Impressive to watch Indiana.
4 minutes gone by in the fourth. Indiana without Caitlin Clark with the groin injury in a comfortable 13-point lead.
And they've played 5 of their last 6 on the road. They look like road warriors right now.
Howard. And travel. Minnesota with 5:45 to go to make this one interesting. We talked about this, LaChina. Last year in the Commissioner's Cup Championship game, Minnesota was more the hunter.
Yeah.
On the road in New York, taking on the Liberty where they won that game. They're the hunted so far tonight.
No one was talking about Minnesota, but after they won the Commissioner's Cup, Cheryl Reed said, well, they have to talk about us now as Courtney Williams gets that to go. And after that point, everyone was alerted to how good Minnesota was. They made it to the finals. But this year, there is pressure. The expectation, you're at home, is that you win this game, and they are down Caitlin Clark.
And after a fast start, Minnesota slowed down. Mitchell In and out on the three. Rebound, chased down by Boston. Mitchell on the move, penetrating. The ball ricochets into the hands of Williams. Halfway through the fourth. Minnesota searching for life.
I would love to see some pin down action for McBride to try to get her loose for a look from long range.
5 on the shot clock. Collier gonna have to make a play. Foul called on Heidemann. And another foul is called in Indiana in the penalty, and so Minnesota will shoot free throws. She is 41 for 42 at the free throw line this season.
No one happy with the officials. It's been a lot of conversations going on. But like I said, what you want is consistency. And I think they've called a consistent game. And it's been a physical one, and they've let it go on both sides.
Lead back down to single digits. Colson gives it up to Mitchell. Mitchell over to Cunningham, long range, bottoms. Big time trifecta, Sophie Cunningham. Time running out on Minnesota. 4 minutes to go. Collier fading away, won't go.
That's the kind of night it's been for Napheesa Collier. That is her shot on the fadeaway. She's 4 for 15 tonight.
The leading scorer in the WNBA this season, just under 25 a ball game. Colson got it into Boston. Boston backing down Collier, and a foul is called. And Boston and Collier jawing with each other. Boston with 8 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists. She can get in double figures with this next free throw.
It's been a tough night at the office for Boston as well from the field, but the rebounds have been there, the assists, impressive.
Knocked down both free throws. The lead is 14. 3:35 to go in the fourth. A nice crossover. Heidemann. Push shot in the lane. Count it. And put her on the line.
Does Minnesota have another push in them? Hey, that kind of money does something to you. You can have an out-of-body experience on the court over $500,000.
So Reed was just talking about how that's more than playoff bonuses. When you go on a deep run.
Need those free throws if you're Heidemann.
Colson. Colson has been solid tonight. Gives it up to Cunningham in the corner. Boston. That match up with Collier. Here's the back down. Turns left shoulder, put it up and in. Boston, 2 more.
And you can't even help because they have her on isolation side by herself. They've got Napheesa Collier on an island over there.
Under 3 to go in the fourth. Outside to Williams, sets the feet, can't hit the 3. Collier offensive board, got the putback.
That gives Minnesota some life. Let's see if they can get a stop on the other end. Fever has been going to Boston in these recent possessions, and she's answering the call.
Collier 2 for 7 from the floor in this second half. Howard, hand off to Mitchell. Mitchell out to Cunningham. Cunningham on the move, got to beat the clock. Great defense. Oh, they
especially on the road, that's big.
Cunningham knocks down the first. 12 points, 7 rebounds for Sophie Cunningham. And they're smiling on the Indiana bench. 14-point lead for the Fever. Heidemann. Out in the corner, McBride can't hit. Collier, 2 more second chance points. Fever ended this game 8-8 on the season. Dealing with injuries. No Caitlin Clark for the last 2. Turnover. Collier gets by Howard. Collier on the move. Stops. Put it up and off. Boston the board.
Sydney Colson broke that up. She got back in transition defense. They got a hand on that.
Indiana in the driver's seat. Under 90 seconds to go in regulation. Colson for 2. No. Rebound Collier. Williams off to the races and scores. Been a rough shooting night for Williams. 4 for 14 in this ball game. She's now in double figures with 11. Mitchell bottoms. Reset.
This is a Lynx team that has had their fair share of adversity this year, missing Kayla McBride early, missing Nafisa Collier in recent games. But they were able to sustain with the effort of this Fever team on the road, minus Caitlin Clark, has been fantastic.
Mitchell. And we'll keep it on this end. Last touch by Minnesota. Minnesota had a 27-14 lead with 8:13 to go in the second quarter and did not score the rest of the second period.
Yeah, that hurt them. Just not able to put the ball in the bucket. And it's, even though it wasn't a lot, it seemed to change their energy.
Hall adding to the point differential. 74-59. Second three-pointer of the ball game for Lexi Hall. Diamond Miller can't get it to go. Got it back. Caught in the lane. Swatted by Timpson. And that's the Indiana fans making some noise here at Target Center.
There are a lot of Fever fans in this building.